Hey everyone, Sebastian here, back again to give you some last minute help for the August SAT. I'm going to be doing 5 different questions today. So I did a video before where I'm predicting 3 questions. These are different questions and I'm not predicting these will be on here, but they are key concepts that will be on here in one way or another. They'll help you. So if you're feeling stressed out, learn these 5 and I'm sure they'll come in use on the actual test this Saturday. So first up, we have a circle question. The equation above defines a circle in the xy plane. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle? We have x squared plus 8x plus y squared minus hy equals negative 12. Okay, so what a lot of students will do that's a mistake is they'll try to find the full formula. So they'll find the radius and everything. All we care about is the center. And if we look here, we have 8 comma h, negative 8 comma negative h, 4 comma negative 0.5h, and negative 4 comma negative 0.5h. And what you need to remember about circles is that when you have an equation like this, you need to complete the square for each part. So let's do the x squared plus 8x part, and then we'll understand how to do the one with the h. So we do x squared plus 8x, and to complete the square, we would do half of the 8 and add it on. So we'd add on 4, but we're going to square that value. So it'd be 4 squared, but we'd add on 16 to both sides. Again, we don't need to keep track of the right because we don't care about the radius. And what that's going to become is x plus 4 squared, and this gives us the negative version of the center because the standard form for circles are x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we're not going to care about the r. So here we have a 4, a plus 4, so h is going to equal negative 4. The center, the x value at the center is negative 4, so it should be d. But now think about the h as well. The h is negative h. We would just do negative of half of that. So it would be negative h divided by negative 2, and that would give us 0.5h, so it is d. And the reason why I'm giving this one here with an h instead of a number is because if you had a number, you could just plug the equation in to Desmos and then find it. So I'll give you an example of how that would work, and you'll see how it works on Desmos. When you have all numbers, it's nice and clean. So we had all numbers, it could be something like this: x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus, let's say, 12y equals 0, right? And then we have it here, and you can find the center somewhere around here. It's not exact, but it would be negative 3 because it'd be half of this in the negative, and then half of this in negative. So it'd be negative 3 up 6. So it'd be right here would be the center. Okay? Or actually, sorry, right here. And that would be it. But we don't need Desmos right here, and it doesn't help us because we have the h value. So just remember the standard form of a circle and using the answer choices to help you clarify. All right, so we have another one here. X squared plus 12x plus a, which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? Now, what I want you to notice is that this is a quadratic equation that would make a parabola. And these are quadratic equations written in vertex form. And what that means, in vertex form, it's y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. A here is different from this a. It's about stretching or flattening out the parabola. H is the x value at the vertex, and k is the y value at the vertex. So how do we find the h value, right? The x value at the vertex? We complete the square using this part, and then what's ever left over is going to give us the y value. So you do half of 12 again, so it's going to be 6 squared. And then the a is on the outside, right? We have plus a. I'm going to erase this so you can see the equation properly. And then we need to balance it because we've just added 6 squared to the inside of the parentheses. To keep that side balanced, we need to subtract 36. So it's going to be like that. Then when we factor with the perfect square, we're going to get x plus 6 squared plus a minus 36, and that would be b. So it's important to understand the different forms a parabola equation can take. There's standard form, which is like this. Then there is vertex form, which is like all these options. And then there's factored form, which would be something like x plus 4 times x minus 3. something where it's factored and you see the roots there. This gives you the vertex, this gives you the roots. This just sort of gives you a general simplified equation. All right, so I want you to understand how to complete the square, not just for circles, not just parabolas, but for both. And it sometimes comes up with other problems too. And remember to look at the answer choices and focus on the differences. We have plus 6, and then minus 6, minus 6. So you know it's going to be a 6, and you have to think about which one it's going to be. And when you do the equation, you see, oh, it's plus, and you could eliminate C and D. And same thing with the plus A plus 36 and plus A minus 36. Okay. Now here we're talking a bit more basic, but still a great one to know. A cabinet contains 12 black socks and 38 white socks. If one of these socks is selected at random, what is the probability of selecting a black sock? So the thing a lot of students will do that I want you to watch out for on these probability questions, they'll do 12 over 38, but it's 12 over the total. So you have to do 12 over 38 plus 12. So that's going to be 12 over 50. And that you can put in as either 6 over 25 or a 0.24. Okay, so remember, always keep track of what the total is and what you're looking for, not just doing the two numbers. So you wouldn't just do 12 over 38. That would be a big mistake. And remember that probabilities have to be between 0 and 1. So if you accidentally did 38 over 12 and you got 3 point something, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. You can't have a probability greater than 1. And you can't have a negative probability. All right, now here we have a fun one of my favorites. The number of trout in a lake in 2024 was 1.36 times the number of trout in the lake in 2023. If the number of trout in 2023 is P% of the number of trout in the population in 2024, what is the value of P rounded to the nearest tenth? So we're converting a decimal value to a percentage, and the decimal value is sort of an inverted version. So the number of trout in the lake in 2024, let's call that A, equals 1.36 times the number of trout in the lake in 2023. That'll be B. So A equals 2024, B equals 2023. If the number of trout in 2023 is P%, so now they're flipping it on us. It's not what is A as a percentage of B, it's what is B as a percentage of A. So we have to isolate B here and do B equals A over 1.36. And when we do that, that's really doing to find the value 1 divided by 1.36. And that's going to give us something like 0.735. And they trick you here. This is why I'm giving you this question, because there's multiple tricks. First doing this inversion, and then remembering that they're asking for P%. So we need to move the decimal place 2 over and get 73.5%. And obviously you wouldn't put the percentage symbol in, but you would put in the 73.5. So watch out for any questions like this where they're inverting the percentage or where they're asking the answer in terms of a percentage instead of a decimal. You have to keep those in mind. It's easy math to do, but it's easy when you're in the rush of the test to forget about that and make a mistake and lose the points. All right, and we have our last one here, an interesting systems of equations question. I'm going to do it one way, and then I'll show you how to do it on Desmos. 2 parentheses 6x plus 4 parentheses 5y equals 72. And then we have negative 2 parentheses 6x plus 4 parentheses 5y equals 40. The solution to the given system of equations is x parentheses x comma y. What is the value of 6x plus 5y? So what I want you to notice here, and what makes it a bit special from just a regular systems of equation, is we have 6x, 5y in each of them. You want to notice patterns in the LCT math questions. So this is one pattern, right? Instead of solving for x and y, I'm just going to solve for 6x and 5y, and that'll give me what I need. And it might be because 6x and 5y, x and y are weird decimals or something, and 6x and 5y will give us nice clean numbers. And that'll just save you time and limit the possibility of mistakes. So we have this, then we have this, then we have 5y equals 40. Now I'm going to add them together because these will cancel. We're going to get 8 times 5y equals 112. Then we're going to divide by 8 and get 5y equals 14. And now I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to worry about what y is. I'm just going to worry about what 5y is. Then I can plug that in here. So I'm going to have 2 parentheses 6x plus 4 parentheses 14 equals 72. So I'll get 2 parentheses 6x plus 56 equals 72. When I subtract by 56, I'm going to get 2 parentheses 6x equals 16. So 6x equals 8. So then what do they add up to? 14 plus 8, it equals 22. Now that just saves time, saves having to deal with decimals or weird fractions. I'm going to plug these into Desmos in this weird way where I'm going to make it, instead of 2 6x 4 5y, I'm just going to do 2x plus 4y equals 72 and negative 2x plus 4y equals 40, and you'll see that it works the same way. And just that substitution makes the values a little cleaner, which I like. So you have plugged them in, and the point is 8 comma 14, which adds up to 22. If I had plugged it in the other way and then had to go backwards and solve for x and y, that'd just be wasting time. I want you to think about what you can keep in mind on here, right? Completing the square, the different forms of the parabolas, how to solve for circle standard form equations, and the patterns that you notice here, plus keeping track of probabilities, common mistakes, and remembering that sometimes they'll ask for a percentage in a question and sometimes the decimal. If you keep those all in mind, that'll really help you, because these are common types of questions, maybe not these exact types, but the concepts being asked. There'll always be a circle question, there'll definitely be parabola questions, and there will definitely be systems of equations and probability and percentage questions. So if you have any questions on these or any tricks you have discovered on your own, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope the sky is clear for you today, but if it's raining, I hope the rain is cleaning your windows and watering your plants. Bye.